Welcome back, everybody, to Pick and Roll, the NBA betting show that goes live every weekday morning right here on the Board YouTube channel, 9:45 or so a.m. Eastern time. We have a ton of picks today, so starting a little bit late, had some pre-show movement as well. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting, Gilbert. We are ready to go, and we have 5 picks on the way today. I think in the season and a third that we've had this show, we've never had a show where Pips has 5 picks, but it's a big slate, and it's a big slate where Pip seems to very much like what he sees. So we're hopefully going to have some fun today with these picks and hopefully have a winning Friday. Reminder to everybody watching, if you're tailing the picks and you've been watching this season, make sure to hit that like button to support what we do over here on the channel, going live every weekday morning, as I mentioned. And you can keep subscribed as well to stay notified when we go live. Apologies for no Thursday show with Kirk Evans yesterday. Had some scheduling issues. It didn't work out. We'll be back next week, but you got me and Pips, of course, for today. So let's go and give out the 5 picks that we have on the show for today. And after we hear those 5 picks, Pips is going to go through the handicap behind each and every one of these picks so you can make the decision whether or not you want to tail on the picks as always. And then once we do that, we'll go through the recap of the previous day's bets. Okay, let's get into the very first pick here. So first of all, we are going to the Hawks to grab Trae Young over 28.5 points. They're playing against the Pacers. The total in this one is 261.5. So this is going to be a crazy game, it seems like, but we're hoping Trae Young goes over the point line in the process. Second play, we are going into a Raptors and Kings matchup here. Raptors visiting Sacramento. We have Domantas Sabonis on a 3-leg SGP for plus 104 odds at DraftKings. We have Domantas Sabonis under 23.5 points, but 10 plus rebounds and 5 plus assists. Then we're moving over to the Pistons and Warriors to grab Jalen Duren, 10 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 20 plus points. This is actually minus 109 now at FanDuel, so apologies on the graphic. It's just 2 cents off on that one, so minus 109, still a good price to take. Fourth play, Wizards and Cavaliers. We have a Jared Allen SGP, 15 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, and 2 plus assists for the big man for minus 115 odds at BetMGM. And in the final play here, also in the Wizards and Cavaliers game, we're going to DraftKings for minus 120 SGP. We have Jordan Poole under 18.5 points and Donovan Mitchell 25 plus points. Okay, I'll do my best to keep some banners up for the viewers who want to tail these picks. But let's go first of all to the Trae Young play. Tell us why we're taking Trae Young on the over on points here.
So he's been crushing this line like over the last couple of games. If you take a look, poor start to a season, then started just going nuts. And over the last 19 games, he covered this line in 14, 74% clear rate. If you take a look in the matchups, he goes under. It's Cleveland Cavaliers, third best pick and roll defense, Bulls, the best pick and roll defense, Thunder's second best pick and roll defense, and the Kings just blitz him the entire game. So yeah, like in the matchups he goes under. He had very difficult matchups. Any other matchup, he crushed the first graph shows the game against the Pacers, 38 point. Yeah, just like the highest total of the slate, as you mentioned, crazy number. And if you take a look at the play types, the Pacers' second worst pick and roll ball handler defense, allowing the most free throws to the free throw merchant Trae Young, below average transition defense, and the dead last isolation defense. All the 4 dominant play types where Trae Young scores 82% of his points are terrible or below average. So yeah, this is just no brainer taking Trae Young on this line. He's been crushing it.
Okay, so there is the first play. We have Trae Young on the over on points. Let's go to that second play. It's Domantas Sabonis under 23.5 points, 10 plus rebounds, 5 plus assists for plus 104 against the Raptors. I can also wait a little bit, but let's hear why you want to bet this today.
I'll just say the numbers, then you can just add the part of Jacob being against him. So as I said, mentioned I think earlier on the show, the Sabonis numbers lately are very inflated with couple of easy games. If you take a look at the last 24 games this season, he's under in 19 out of 24, went over this line against the Washington Wizards, the easiest matchup in the league for the centers, against the Phoenix Suns without Nurkic. So one of the easiest matchups in the league. Against Portland without Aiton, also one of the easiest matchups in the league. I mean, I think since Aiton was out, every big went over against the Portland. Then against the Hawks, shot 71% from the field. I mean, they blitzed Fox entire game, so he had wide open shots, and that's it. So even against Orlando Magic, double overtime ends up with 22 points. Not a good track record against the Raptors. They have size all over the place. I mean, Siakam, Jacob, even Anunoby can hold his own um, against Sabonis, and yeah, I don't see it. I think this
Not
line
not
is
Ananobi anymore.
yeah, not an Anunoby. Sorry for that, Barnes. I told Barnes. They all have
Yeah,
great size. Yeah, sorry guys. Also, rebounding line. He had double-digit rebounds in 15 straight games. Yeah, that's just insane. And when I'm so in the December and yeah, January, so 16 games, he averaged almost 14 rebounds a game. And I don't expect this game to be high efficiency, so there will be plenty of rebounding chances. And also, when I'm going with under his points, that means his assists should be up there. And last game, even against the Magic, that which allows the least assist in the league or top five least assists, he had 12 assists in that game. Game against the Memphis earlier this season. So when you take a look at his rebounds and assists, against Memphis, 21 rebounds and 12 assists. Against Hornets, 19 rebounds. Last game against the Magic, 23 rebounds and 12 assists. Insane air numbers. So yeah, I'm just the points too high, and we are just adding rebounds and assists because it goes well correlated.
yeah. So Jakob Poeltl has been defending bigs quite well in the recent stretches of games. He's been a bit of a block machine. He was certainly a block machine the last game, albeit against the Memphis Grizzlies here. This is going to be a good matchup where it's not necessarily as much of a stretch big where he's going to be getting picked on the perimeter a ton here. So I can see the points being hard to come by for Sabonis. Harder to come by than the line that's currently set for him specifically. But let's go to the third play that we have here. Yeah, if you're catching up here, there's 5 plays today. We're on pick 3 out of 5 as far as the analysis is concerned. That play here is we got minus 109 at FanDuel. Duren, 10 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and Cunningham, 20 plus points.
Yeah, so this one is more so about the minutes, mostly about the minutes. So when Duran gets 25, 26 or more minutes this season, 14 games, 14 double doubles, like 100% clear rate. 14 games, 14 wins on this line. And we are just adding Kate Cunningham because Golden State backcourt is Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Like zero defense. They don't. They have issues defending guards. I think they allow the third most points to guards combined. So point guard and shooting guard. And yeah, overall their defense terrible. If you look at any metric, almost any metric on defense, any play type against them. So like they are below average defending pick and roll ball handlers. They allow the third most um, free throws. They allow the sixth most transition points. They allow eighth most points in isolation. They just overall not great. And the thing is, the only thing they defend well is spot up, so they are not helping that much. So Cade and Durant should thrive in pick and roll game easily tonight against. Also, a bit of part of this game is Golden State is on a back-to-back. They suck lately. Pistons playing better lately, so I think we could see some fourth-quarter minutes for Durant and Cade.
Yeah, big reason why the Pistons are playing better lately is Duren is healthy. He's making a big difference. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're seeing the results as well, as you said, with his points and rebounds. So hoping to capitalize on that once again here today. Let's move on to the fourth play out of 5. This is the Jared Allen SGP, 15 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, 2 plus assists. We had it minus 115 at MGM. Take it away for Allen's matchup against the Wizards.
Yeah, Wizards, the best possible matchup for bigs in the league. Even whatever data we look, they are the best matchup. So if you take a look at the points over the course of the entire season, they allow by far the most points. If you take a look at the rebounds over the course of the season, they allow by far most rebounds. And if you take a look about 2 points, they assists they allow above average, but only the reason they are above average, only above average, because it's easy to score against them, no need to pass out. So yeah, but Jared Allen without Mobley and without Darius Garland, they are playing through him like Sabonis type. Like he gets the ball on the elbow and they just run around and he's hitting cutters. He's also Gafford is drop down. So if Allen passes to Mitchell or Levert or Strus, they with Gafford being dropped down, they get wide open mid-range shot from Jared Allen assist. So they are just playing pick and roll on almost every possession. So yeah, last game blowout, huge blowout, 29 minutes for Jared Allen. He had 17 points, 19 rebounds, and 7 assists. And yeah, that's it. Like even if he count only putbacks, he will be close to covering this line. So yeah, I just think insane matchup for Jared Allen in this game.
All right, so Jared Allen on that one. We have a very good matchup against the Wizards, but we're also going to play something else in the Wizards Cavs game. It's Jordan Poole under 18.5 points and Mitchell 25 plus points. What are you seeing from this one?
So if you take a look at the last 26 games for Jordan Poole, he's under this line in 17. So yeah, that's like 65%. And but the thing is, he played with the Cavaliers last game. He scored only 8 points, struggled mightily. And if you take a look at his overs, so that's interesting. Uh, 2 overs against the Bucks, the worst pick and roll defense. I need to mention that he scores the most points via pick and roll as ball handler, and also via transition. So that's like two dominant play types for him. Over against Bucks twice. They are the worst pick and roll defense and one of the worst transition defensive teams. Over against the Pacers, 2 overs against the Orlando Magic, who is good defense, but they are third worst pick and roll defense. So it's very well correlated with how positive pick and roll defense or negative is his overs and unders. And Cavaliers third best pick and roll defense, 10th best transition defense, and they don't allow much spot up. So it's very difficult matchup for him. He had 8 points like just 2 days ago, struggled mildly, even though he scored like through 2 threes from transition, like that won't happen that many times. So yeah, a very difficult matchup for him tonight. And the second part is Donovan Mitchell. They are defending with Tyus Jones in a single coverage. And last game they were up big, so he didn't care about shooting at all. Still ended up with 24 points in an insane blowout, and he also didn't make any layups. He was shooting very poor from inside, missed a couple of easy wide open layups, and still got to the 24. So I think tonight I see a bit different game from the Cavaliers spot. I mean, it's difficult to blow out teams back to back twice. So I think Mitchell is in a good spot here.
All right, so those are the 5 plays. A bit of a long-winded show for all these plays here, but 5 plays for you guys on a Friday night. We're going to recap those plays at the end of the show as well, in case you missed out on any of them. So don't worry, we will recap them before we go here. But after picks, going into the recap of yesterday's play, plays. This was play in singular because it's just a one play. Unfortunately, it was a loss in the Bucks game. So let me lead off here. So there's a lot of people in the chat, and definitely we saw some people on Twitter upset about this one. Fading a superstar player in particular, but just unders in general. People have not been liking that unders are more frequently involved in plays, specifically for superstars. First of all, if that was a handicap you could use, you could just bet superstar overs every game, and you could, and in theory, you'd win. But obviously, that's not going to be the case here. But a good way to determine when you're finding a good bet here is, for instance, in this case scenario, so we have Giannis on the 36.5 point line. That's obviously an alt under. But at the time the bet was made on the show, Giannis's point line was 34.5. At the close for this bet, Giannis was 31.5 on his point line. So over the course of the day, bettors were absolutely smashing the unders on Giannis all throughout the day. Now, obviously, COVs, things like this are indicative of long-term success, but on a day-to-day basis, and specifically on a day like this when there was just one pick and play, it's not always going to be a winner. But having 3 total points going in favor of the bet that we made on the show is very much indicative that this was an excellent play here, but just sometimes it doesn't work out as the game does transpire. So, we go through the picks in the show before we give them out. We used to do on the show where every pick was given out one by one, explained one by one, but then lines move. So we changed the show up. So it's just all the picks at the front, and then the handicap is later on. But of course, if anybody's uncomfortable betting unders, you don't have to blindly tail everything on the show. But I will say, in defense of Pips in particular here, that very much the numbers have been excellent recently. Hasn't necessarily been showcasing for the record, but as sample increases, I think that is going to be the case. We'll see it on the record, because if you're getting numbers like this, we're finding very good spots here. But that's my analysis on the line. But Pips, you want to add in on the analysis from the game perspective, how Giannis managed to really crush this line in the end?
I've seen so many stupid comments. It's insane. I'm usually always being nice and not
Level
saying
head.
anything rude. Yeah, but this is fucking insane. Like last night, I seen so many comments that were just br- like insane. Like
Yeah.
the worst comments out there is if Giannis decides to score, he will score. Like you can pull that out for any player in the league and not bet a single under in any game. That's just insane. Like if you take a look at the last game against the Spurs, he didn't score 12 points because he didn't want to score. Like they legit. I mean, if he was more aggressive, he would probably score more points. But that's the thing. But the matchup is same, like the same matchup, and they just collapsed on defense, double team him, triple team him, showed everything to stop Giannis, and they stopped Giannis. In this game, they just went, okay, we'll just play him straight. And he covered this line in minutes 38, 39, and 40 in back-to-back games against the fucking Spurs. Come on, the spread was, I think, 10 and a half, or even 11 and a half. And yeah, everyone expected. So it's insane. He had 30 points with 3 minutes left, and they were down 5. So he needed to take over. How many times is this happening against the team like Spurs with healthy Bucks? Also, Middleton didn't play in the second half, so Giannis went nuts in the second half. In the first half, he was on pace to stay under and well under. He played 22 minutes in the second half on a back-to-back night to cover in the last 3 minutes. It's just insane. And the narrative on the Twitter and not fading stars. If you faded Giannis on this line over the last 20 games, you'll be rich, man. Like he is under this line in 30, or he's in 16 out of the last 20. Don't fade the star. Fading stars probably makes you the most money because most people think don't fade the stars, that their lines are inflated. If you take a look on the stars and unders, probably the best, most profitable spots to bet. But it's just, and unders are crazy because I know I'm going on a rant here, but I don't care because I can. So I mean, if you take a look at unders, yeah, it's difficult because you always remember when you bet under in the player goes over and fucks you over. And that's like selective memory. But if you look at the times you bet someone over especially superstars, and they stay under, you don't react to their losses like you react when under goes over. I know it sucks to bet under and then watch the game or even like sweat it, but I think if you take a look over the course of the entire season, if you blindly bet unders on every game, you'll win more than blindly betting overs on every game. So yeah.
And for me, like the measure of success when it comes to betting is closing line value. This is how sports books limit players. If a player is consistently getting closing line value, that is a player that is more likely to get limited here. So like even in tough stretch for the show, 100% here. Like we have a viewer, Padra Boy, like every show is here in the comments, limited on ESPN yesterday. So like if you're finding good close, and very much a lot of these plays are, that is where sports books look to limit players. So we're finding that consistently on the show. Your Pips is finding that consistently with the picks here, whether it's overs, whether it's unders. It's obviously like, people want to win the bets, and it's annoying when you don't win a bet. And the Giannis one in particular on the show, it was just the one play. So you're thinking, okay, it's the one play, it's a losing day, whatever. But as sample increases, if you're finding the good lines, you're finding good close, that is what it's indicative of. That should be indicative of success. And throughout the course of the season, that should showcase itself 100%. So again, like I'm trying to come into the defensive Pips here because some of the mentions were crazy. Like if you're really uncomfortable taking under, like that's fine. Everything given out in the show is something Pips would absolutely play himself. It's something that I
I
absolutely would
do.
play myself as well. So like I'm playing all these as well. So we're finding good bets, and we imagine that as we increase the sample, keep on going, that we're going to start to see the results as we did at the start of the season as well. And for this play, like this is a play you make 100% of the time. Like the line moving as much as it did. This is probably one of the biggest line moves that we've seen. But again, everybody's entitled to use their money however they like. If you don't like playing unders, like that's just not an experience you want to watch the game, like feel free to not play the unders. But there's value on the unders, there's value on overs. There's going to be, you never know where the value is going to be on a bet. Like if you think Giannis is going to have a really good game, but then like let's say they set the line at 40 against the Spurs, that like obviously you're going to bet the under on that. He has a 44-point game. What can you do about it? You find a good number. That's your job as a sports bettor. All right, it's been long-winded, sort of. I guess we'll call it a rant here, but that's the position for giving out picks that Pips puts himself in every weekday morning. Myself, I'm just the host. I don't come with the picks, so I don't shoulder the blame, but at all. So Pips is putting himself in a tough spot and doing a very good job at it. So that's what I just wanted to reference for the show for today. All right, 5 picks on the show today, however. And for anybody, I think some people might see 5 picks, maybe a little nervous. It's a lot of money going down on a specific day. And perhaps I can understand that. But like I said, increasing the sample and finding good numbers, that is where you're more likely to have success. So, it could be a 5-0 day, could be an 0-5 day. But for these plays for today, we would expect that on a long-term basis, these would be winning plays and cause a lot of winning days. But putting a bit more risk down, I get that there can be some pushback, but you're increasing your sample size. This is what you should be doing as a sports bettor. So let's give out the 5 plays once again on the recap here. First of all, we have Trae Young over 28.5 points against the Indiana Pacers. We have minus 120 odds there in what should be a crazy game today with a 261 total point line. We have the Raptors and the Kings here to take Domantas Sabonis under 23.5 points, 10 plus rebounds, 5 plus assists. That's plus 104 at DraftKings. Then we're going to FanDuel in the Pistons and Warriors matchup. We're taking Jalen Duren, 10 plus points, 10 plus rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 20 plus points, minus 109 at FanDuel, minus 109 at FanDuel. Then we have 2 plays in the Wizards and Cavaliers game. First of all, we have minus 115 at BetMGM for Jared Allen, 15 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, and 2 plus assists. And in the final pick, also Wizards Cavs, as I said, minus 120 odds for Jordan Poole under 18.5. Donovan Mitchell, 25 plus. After giving this play out, this line has moved. You can't get Jordan Poole at the 18.5 anymore. However, if you still want to get this play, you can go to ESPN Bet, as you can do for a lot of the plays given out on the show, and find better lines. But we provide the widely available options to the most viewers. All right, that's it for Friday morning here. Let's have a big Friday, big chance to do so with 5 plays on the board. Excited for this one, excited for this slate. Think we have some really good positions here. Hopefully that showcases itself tonight. we can go into the weekend as winners. Come back on Monday and start it all over again for a brand new week. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the show today and you're tailing the picks. Subscribe to keep up to date with the content, and we'll see you again very, very soon.